can't it habitate in a particular area where the salt levels
Okay,
are
let's
static?
not go down that route. Let me
No,
ask
no,
you a
no, no. Just
question.
answer that question. Why can't a species of stay in an area where the salt levels are consistent, such that it's at a state of equilibrium, never needing, never becoming thirsty?
All right, I will defer to the green bean moderators. I'm not going to continue answering
Run away like a
fish
coward,
water
bro.
questions. Let me
You don't
ask
even know
you.
how to run away like a
Let me
man.
do a quick diagnostic.
Say you get in a phone
Let
call.
me
Say
do a
somebody
quick
calls you, like
diagnostic here. Concrete,
dial up
answer
your
this
phone or
question.
something. Do
What is
something on your end,
100
bro.
times 1,000, Concrete? What is 100 times 1,000?
In a million.
So 100,000 or 100 times 1,000 is 1,000,000. Okay, the diagnostic has been answered.
What do you call 10 million fish?
100 times 1,000.
100,000. Oh, you got me. Anyway, so can you answer my question now? So, since I've answered yours, can you answer mine?
He might give you a Bible and a slave. You know how they do.
Okay, I want to give a compliment to Loki and Concrete, maybe,
Can
but
you just answer
mostly
my question
Loki.
now? I
Wait,
answered your question.
okay,
Can
go
you
ahead.
answer my question?
State your question in one
Why
sentence.
can't it be the case that there's a species of fish that stays in an area where the salt levels are static?
Okay, I'll agree with you. Yes, correct, Concrete.
All right, would that be the case that a fish does not get thirsty? If there's a constant state of equilibrium between the necessary and the amount that was on intake?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to stop answering these questions, and I'm gonna go back to
Okay.
listening
All
mode.
right. Thank you.
But I'm impressed. Most people never say yes. They say no, and they have articulate arguments. And I'll say that I'm impressed with you, John. The name is given to you as a good character.
Yeah, but Loki, you know that your whole argument is based on an equivocation, right?
No, not necessarily. When fish actually get thirsty and drink water, yes. Especially when they live in a state of dehydration.
I think Brad established that they don't get thirsty in the way that humans do. So when you talk about
No,
it,
that's equivocation.
so so when you talk about thirst in the way that humans get thirsty, no, fish don't get thirsty in the way that humans get thirsty.
It
It
wasn't Brad.
otherwise you're.
No,
I
the
thought it
key
was
word
Brad.
is dehydration.
Yeah, but look, why would they when their brain doesn't even perceive that they are thirsty?
So
Yeah,
you
but
agree that you're talking about two different senses of the word
no,
thirst?
no. I'm saying that the biological need for thirst remains the same in both the species. Why? Because we both have involuntary movements such as blinking, and we're not, how you say it, conscious of it because our brain doesn't allow us to perceive it all the time. So with the fish, it doesn't allow them to perceive that they're thirsty.
It's a little bit like breathing with humans. A lot of people in this app, I don't think they're breathing anymore. I think they're just chronically thinking, speaking, and responding. They're, not breathing. So let me ask one more question to Concrete. Can a human get a deficient in breath?
Yeah, why not? Are you saying that fish in their breathing?
Well, I mean, you got the respiration cycle, you got the
In their
hydration
respiratory
cycle.
functions?
But let me ask a more important question. Are you called concrete because you're
Is that what
thick
you're
as
talking about?
you're thick as concrete? I mean, is it doesn't your name imply that you're stupid?
Yeah, look at you, cracking under pressure. Look at you getting emotional.
Doesn't your name imply that you're stupid?
Look how irate you get. Go smoke some weed and feel better.
He's John, brother. He's actually a mason of the highest order, meaning he could be a foundation, brick by brick, fundamentally to architecture or to the spiritual realm of philosophical ideas. And I think you too, my brother, can do the same.
Well, see, as I stated earlier, I believe that this is a roast app, aka comedy. And so when I say stupid, I don't mean stupid as in like retarded or autistic or Down syndrome. Like I mean like if you are a Freemason and you are stupid or thick as a block of concrete, that's really like the all, or he has become the universe. That's all I'm trying to say. But apparently, that philosophical, esoteric concept flew over his block of concrete.
Kendall, yeah.
Yep.
Can you imagine somebody? All right. Can you
We're gonna make
imagine?
America
All
great
right.
again,
All
Joe.
right. Can you imagine somebody you don't interact with on a regular basis being this fucking invested in you? What does that mean to you? You know, somebody that you don't interact with on a regular basis is so invested in you.
That means they're a fucking creep.
Maybe they should find something better to do. Lack
Well,
opportunity
if
to
you
express
call me a
themselves.
creep, maybe you're projecting that you're a creep.
Maybe they lack opportunity to express themselves in any meaningful way, and this is their only outlet, and it's a frustrating existence when you see other people doing what they want to be doing. But welcome, John. Just try to be normal. I know it's hard.
Yeah, you see how he kind of try to make a correlation, like, hey, oh, because I recognize a person with negative traits, that I must be able to recognize said trait because I too have that trait. And we're supposed to be the dumbasses here. Like, all right.
Doesn't really believe in that. Probably, I take it to be the result of mediocre work, where you've got to you're down 50 points in your head and you know it. But if you could tell somebody that they're down 100 points, then you obviously can feel better about yourself because you know you're down 50 points. He knows he's down. He's not winning. And so everybody else that he might perceive to be a threat or to be actually winning, he wants to diminish them. Remember when you said that? He wants to diminish
Well,
people?
let me just ask the
That's because
question
of his
again.
that's because of his
Dr.
own-
Concrete, what do you think?
No, the person that's supposed to be listening is off.
And look what happened. I couldn't even get the update. Ask him again. See if he'll engage. He wasn't engaging. He was talking about, hey, what's going to happen is me and Roger are going to record the room and play it. And then we're going to go inside, politically correct and chillism, and we're going to ask questions and tell everyone that, hey, we're streaming. And everything like that. I want to know more. On some apps, streaming.
Yeah, we're gonna act as the aggregator or the algorithm, and we're gonna cause anarchy and chaos tomorrow using your room and politically correct.
You want to form an alliance?
Well, because of Anonymous, we don't actually need alliances, but yes, I would form an alliance. But, I am interested in monetizing on YouTube, so if you want to open up a YouTube account and join, the rebellion or the alliance, I'm more than happy to include you in this network.
We could write a proper verbal agreement with Toxic. He's our Secretary of State in such a.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, tell him, and he will make it sincere, official, and we'll stamp it. Sometimes diplomacy is the best in these types of situations, my brothers.
If you ever try to monetize off my content, they're coming for you.
Well, it's not just me. Look, none of those anons in the audience
I'm
are
telling
me.
you directly. I don't give a fuck about anything else. Just letting you know.
Okay, got it. It's been noted. Anybody else want to get the same notation?
Just please make sure you communicate to your brother about the question.
You don't want to help him actualize his vision?
Absolutely not. He has a diabolical nature, and he only means to utilize this in a negative way, which I do not support.
Is that
So
true,
no.
John? Answer, John. You want to use it?
No, see, that's him projecting, and I don't respect that. I don't appreciate that.
I'm going off of what you said before. I'm going off of what you said before. So that was your
Just a
introduction
third
to
of
why you
Forbes
record.
poll about me, and I count polls about people as harassment. And if I'm going to be harassed, I should have a mod badge while I do it, while I'm being harassed. So either get my name out the polls
Yeah, Nate.
or badge me up, bros.
Give my love a mod badge. My love.
I don't really want a mod badge. I just want to be not in the polls. I have PTSD from my name being in titles, and I really don't feel like being the subject of conversation.
Aww.
You put my name in the fucking polls.
You're popular, Monica.
I know. I just can only have so many flowers, Bima. My house is filled with them.
Well, I mean, if they're begonia.
Oh, yes.
Hey, Bima, can I ask you a question?
Yes, go ahead, Jacob.
Earlier, for the past couple of days, I had people stump with a profound question. Here's the second. Can a man or a woman live without regrets?
Yeah, I do believe so.
So you think people can be perfect?
I don't think that living without regrets is perfection. I think it's the acceptance. It's just the ability to accept what is and to make peace with that.
So you think somebody could make 100 choices, and out of 100 of them, they can never look back and say, I should have made another?
No, I'm saying that. Oh, are you saying like built in, like they no longer have regret? No, I think regret will always be something that is a conscious thing that we like look and reflect on. But I'm saying like it's a conscious choice to whether or not you want to let that hurt your future and your now. You know, the past is gone forever. You're never going to get that back. You're never going to change that. The future isn't here. The only thing that you have is literally like right now. That's it. So what's the point of lamenting on things that you can't change? And I think that there are people that have been able to, I think it's rare, but there are definitely people that have been able to make peace with decisions of regret.
Why do you have such a pessimistic view of life? You don't think you could be perfect?
I think atomically, each and every one of us is perfect already. I think that's why I have it in my PTR. Or my bio, you look at my bio, I say you're perfect.
I see.
Exactly. So I just been standing here, Charles a little bit, and refresh her head, and then go start.
Again, I have the Merchant of Venice on my laptop to watch on the very long train ride there.
Oh, that's really nice. How long are you gonna be in Venice? Just 3 days?
Yep, 3 days.
But where are you flying from when you leave?
To what?
Where are you flying from when you leave?
We'll be flying from Rome, and that's like later on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I thought you were flying in and out from Milano, and so I thought, okay, Milano is super close to me. It's like 2-hour train or 3-hour train. But Venice is way further. I don't know what to do with my mom, and she's been sick. Actually, I've been being a nurse the last. Well, she was already a little bit sick at home, and then when she took the flight, the air conditioner like completely made her sick.
Oh,
and so she came here with asthma and whatever. Yeah, so I've been. She's still on nebulizer. Like she finishes the treatment on Wednesday or so, or Thursday, I don't remember. But yeah, she's been doing steroids and stuff. Like she's been taking care of her. So I don't think that she will.
I wish her she should have a speedy recovery.
Thank you. No, she's gonna be fine. It's just that, like if I tell her, okay, we're gonna go to Venice this weekend, probably she will not be up to it.
Yeah.
If I were on my own, that's fine because it's just gonna be over.
I'm here with the kids. Main thing is to get them to San Marco, which
Oh, you know what? When you're in San Marco, just buy food for the dogs.
I know
feed them.
Easy there.
Yeah. I remember that one time that I was there, I bought coffee cookies, and I was just sitting there, like
shot of me in my hat with the birds flying all around.
Yeah, they will enjoy that.
Oh yeah, the kids are gonna
And
love it.
the ice cream there is amazing as well.
Natto.
Seafood in Venice is very good.
Of course, the seafaring people. Well, I mean.
Oh, but you don't eat seafood, right?
Well, we eat kosher seafood. We'll be eating whatever they're serving at the ghetto.
I see. Yeah.
Venice is the
Just
first
they
ghetto, by
have.
the way.
Oh, I didn't know this.
I heard something say one of the earliest, but I'm pretty sure it's the early one. I think it's the origin of the phrase ghetto. Like it was a jet, which I think is French for a type of a port.
So ghetto comes from Italian?
I think so. Well, it sounds Italian, right? Ghetto.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Italian for jetty.
That's really interesting. I don't think I realized if I ever went through the Jewish ghetto.
You might have. It's like right towards the top. Like as you're walking through the city to get down to San Marco, like from the train station, you walk past it at least. But I'll be there for Shabbos. So I'll be staying there. I'll be like
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Are you guys enjoying your trip? Are your kids fascinated with everything they're seeing?
Yes. The kids are like stressed out and all over the place, but it's a lot of fun. We had some scares, My wife's bag got snatched at the train station.
Oh yeah, you said, but you recorded. I was surprised that you record everything.
Yeah, everything back. I didn't see the criminal got open.
Yeah, that is actually amazing. Like I would have never had any expectations of recovering any wrong stuff easily.
Yeah, no, I was freaking out. We were at the train station, but she had to find my iPhone, and we acted quickly. So the cops moved fast. They moved really fast. Like like 5 minutes into the conversation, there were 8 cops there, and they were already telling us they recovered the bag. It's on the way back.
Wow, that's really cool. That's amazing. Well, and what other scares did you have with the kids?
Well, because of the theft, we were like late for Shabbos. Like we had to catch a train that was going into Rome late, which is nerve-wracking for us.
And you did Shabbat in Rome?
In Rome, yeah. Touch base with the Chabad guy over there.
Nice.
Wasn't
So
able to-
you're not going out on Shabbat on Saturdays to walk?
No, I walk on Shabbos, but I can't carry. In fact, we did do a fair amount of walking in Rome on Shabbos. We walked to the old shul, right? Because the proper, Rome proper, like the old city, like not the most livable, is not where the Chabad guy is. He's like across the bridge, across that little island to get to the shul. So the great synagogue with like the Doric roof.
Did you guys go to Florence?
No. I mean, we did last time 10 years ago. We went to see David, which was truly impressive. But and we walked around Del Domo, which is humongous.
Yeah. Also, what I really like is Ponte Vecchio, where all the jewelry is. All the jewel shops.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, but we're having a lot of fun. Kids are seeing like a different way. It's fun.
Oh, that's really nice. Well, I'm really glad that you guys are enjoying.
Yeah.
When are you going back?
The 20th, I think, is their flight back.
Okay. Well, listen, if you're gonna be this weekend, let me just check with my mom. At least I know you will be in Venice.
Yes.
Let me check.
And that's like our last hurrah to the north. Like we'll go to the north for Venice, then we're gonna be back down to Acropolis and hanging out by the beaches south of Amalfi.
If you're going to Venice, you can still go through Verona as well and show them the Romeo and Juliet balcony. Hello. Not sure. It's not too far away from Venice. It's probably like an hour away. Verona. Hi, Pepe. Hey, John. John, why have you been quiet, dude?
I'm here
Okay.
I'm reading a book. So Mixette, I wanted to ask you a question.
Oh, I wasn't sure it was you, actually. I think someone heard that I did.
I wanted to ask you a question.
That most of us. Do you know that today is a fast day?
Really?
Fast day.
Yes. Of the 6 facts that the Jews had during the year, they all have like partners. There's long, short, male, female, black, and white. Today is the black. The destruction of the Beis Hamikdash. The expulsion of the Jews from Israel. Today we commemorate.
So, Mixed, let me ask you a question. As you travel the streets of Italy, how do you view Judaism in comparison to paganism? Is it, historically, is it cultural? Is it political? And how does it all work together?
I mean, like, it's a fair question. The answer is mostly yes. Like, it is cultural. Like for example, I'm at this old castle, um, which was made by the Anjou and the Aragonese, as part of like the conquest of Sicily and the kingdom of Napoli, which had to do with some like Muslim invasions and then inviting in different people to protect them. First the Normans, then the Anjou, eventually the Aragonese with the blessing of the Pope. And like, there's a church here, right? The castle's been like redone a few times. And on the church, it's like right nearby where we're staying. There are these like very big, heavy, like I think made of brass doors that have like statues of Peter and Paul. Right? It has Petrus and Paulus. Yeah, it has listed there. They also have on a different door. It looks like they have depictions of the conquest of Jerusalem. Maybe I'm not sure exactly, but Peter and Paul very clearly they're marked and named. And I also went to Rome and I saw their statue depictions of deities frolicking in the fountains. It was actually really beautiful at I think Piazza Navona. There's like this like god standing up above the water and he's like chilling by a bat, and there's a lion between his legs that's just trying to like lick the water. It's really like beautiful animated kind of shot. And it just strikes me the place of religion. It's a question of what you're using religion for. Is it a symbol? Is it a rallying cry to unite people to express the things they already feel? Like, I wish I could be so dominant over a pool that a lion was licking up the water between my legs? Or is it supposed to be like insightful and meaningful? And like, you see how Italy has gone through different modes of both agreeing with and arguing with both sides of that question. Right? Because Michelangelo and all of those guys that were trying to revive the statues, that was much later. And you got the Pantheon there also. Italy is an excellent case study in the Jewish thoughts on idolatry and paganism, and the non-Jewish reckoning with it upon discovery of Jewish teachings. And like, they still want the statues, right? I see it mostly the way that the Christians relate to Judaism, as they found another paganistic source. This is just a different source of stories, and we can paganize the whole thing. But I think also the Jewish message is a bit persuasive and transformative. And I think that their thoughts evolve and change as they study the story, agree with it, fight it, come back to it. And I think it's all here.
That's really interesting. And are your kids taking in all of this? Like, what are the ages again? You were like 7, 8, right? Anyway, why have you been quiet?
Well, they deleted my other account, so maybe it feels like a
Why?
different experience for you or something with this new account. I asked this atheist, what a Homo sapien is, and he got so emotionally upset that he reported me. And he's like, "You're that motherfucker who has all those accounts, you motherfucker." And I think his name is Mark. I don't know if you know that guy. Mark, I think his name is. He has got a different name on here now, but yeah. Thanks, Mixed, for that answer. I thought that was really interesting. Um,
You look very handsome in that photo you have on.
thinks. I think it's the hat that gets women so excited when
I don't
they
know.
see it.
You got a very handsome face there, and the shirt and everything. Like, very cute photo of you.
It's actually a complete clone of Anton LaVey.
I don't know who that is, but he's got a nice smile. The beard is nicely groomed.
Danny's
He looks very
projecting.
handsome.
Danny's projecting onto me. Danny, do you think you're a witch?
Why?
Yeah.
Who do you think's more handsome, Luges, Tickles, or John?
Oh, they're both different types of handsome.
Now, don't forget, underneath that Trump hat is a bald head. So take that. If you
I
love
know,
hair,
that's why I'm forgetting. I mean, Lou has definitely better hair than me. And also his eyes are nice.
who do you think would be a better husband? My friend the trash bag, a trash bag, or John?
I don't know really. I think my friend lacks a little bit of spine sometimes. At least for
The actual
me, I need
trash bag.
someone with more character.
So let me ask you one final question. What do you think the answer is to the super secret hard riddle known as the riddle of the Sphinx?
I have no clue what the riddle of the Sphinx is.
I mean, you've heard of the Sphinx, right?
Yes.
Like, did you know there was like a riddle tied into the Sphinx?
No.
So maybe Google it. Google what is the mystery riddle of the Sphinx.
Amen.
Riddle of the Sphinx.
Amen.
So I wanted to also say that tomorrow we're doing something different here on Clown House. We are live streaming all of the rooms in Chillism, Politically Correct, a couple others, and we're going to do live feedback. We're going to do like a sample, and then everybody gets to give their opinion on what they just listened. Then we go to another room where we hit, resume. So it's going to be in the muff with Roger Mayhem hosting and John Kidover producing. And
Yeah,
we
I heard that now I heard that exactly. Now he works for him,
Lisa,
not with
also,
him.
by the way,
For
I
him.
can't believe I spent the past 4 years complaining to you about my ineffectual behavior in my toxic relationship, and now you think I make for a spineless partner.
No. I have no. It was nothing referred to your relationship and what you've shared with me. It's just like the way that you come across. It's just like I'm not saying that you're a spineless slimy bitch. I'm just saying that your personality is more
I'm not.
agreeable. Let's
It's
say.
true. It's true. You need a manly man, and I am a faggot.
No, you're not a faggot. Anyway, John. Yeah, I hear that you work for Roger. That's very interesting.
Well, sometimes you get confused and you think that the parasite is the host, and sometimes you think the host is the parasite. But in this case,
In this case, Roger is the parasite, and you were the host.
He's doing your work.
no, I'm just saying that it's mutual cooperation, and if you believe that you can organize community organizers and get monetized one day, this is hopefully what's happening. But I do have to stop recording so much Clubhouse because I have to actually do campaign work to try to get signatures on the ballot to put me, on the.
So you're gonna delegate this to Roger?
John, if you
and
need
so
me to
you're
come get
responsible?
signatures for you for a week, I could get at least 100.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
But
He knows that I've done this. I've done this professionally.
well, if you want to fly out here, so what we're going to do is my friend Jared here, who is my campaign, coordinator, he's got a really nice BMW, and so we're going to go to the top 15 towns in the district, and we're going to do interviews with people that live in all these little towns in Illinois, and see what they think about the current congressman, and share with them information.
Listen, this is the power of Clubhouse. Okay, we are going to make you win.
I agree. I think having Clubhouse is like having a supercomputer. You just have to be, you have to be a good user of that computer. So I hope I'm a good user, and everybody
Let's
here.
help you.
Yeah.
Even I can help you from Switzerland.
Yeah, 100%. Like this
Even though
is
you didn't give me a review for Sorrel.
this is a spam operation in a way. So I need as many brains out there spamming to, help educate people and stop getting people
We can
from
create,
asking
we can
questions.
create videos and start using.
Bima wants to be a part of the campaign. See, I think the whole thing, can essentially, I hate to say that Robert Taylor, aka the Bitcoin laundromat guy, um, he has this theory of praxeology. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but if you look at the Mises Institute, the Mises Institute publishes the theory of human action, and I couldn't stop laughing when I read that.
What do you mean you couldn't stop laughing?
Because Robert Taylor, in a way, is right, but he's also really stupid. He can't explain the theory of human action because it's so complicated. And there's so much in it that to think that you can come on a social audio chat app and exchange, terabytes of information, you just can't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's there to laugh? Like, the Business Institute is one of the best places where you can actually get educated in economics. I love it.
I don't think people are that complicated, and I don't think the universe is that complicated. It's all just, information.
Well, Danny is one of the best crisis actors any political candidate has ever hired, and I thank you, Danny, for being such an effective agent on behalf of Mossad. Oops, did I Freudian slip there? Just kidding, Pepe.
No, they don't want me. Are you joking? I was brainwashed by the America. They're just using me as a patsy. I don't know.
I was gonna say that I would be the worst for Issa because I'd end up strangling the bitch one night. I promise you that.
What?
Pepe is a sociopath. Did you just figure that out, Issa? Bima, welcome to the stage. Bima is also a crisis actress in the campaign to elect Kid over. Welcome, Bima.
Hey, what's going on?
Who's the guy in your PTR? Issa?
He's an athlete, of course, Paralympic. This guy is really inspirational. He's normal apart from his arms, right? Like, he doesn't have arms, like, he never grew. And, he plays tennis, he rides horses.
He plays tennis?
He swims, yeah. He
What
swims.
is his Olympic event? Does he do the shot put?
No, he's a gold medalist. And
In what sport?
in tennis, in running,
Wow.
in horse riding, and yeah, I don't know, like, he plays a lot of sports. And he's fully sufficient. Like, I met him a year ago, and I was having dinner next to him, right next to him. He had a steak in front of him. I was like, shall I ask if I should cut his food or I should help him? Like, I didn't know, like, what to do. I was like, no, that would be rude. Just like, let him ask for help.
So wait, does that mean his penis is technically his real arm?
Probably. But the thing is that he ate exactly as any other person. Of course, he had to lean in a little bit more, on the plate. But he ate with a fork and a knife, and he cut the steak. He did everything neatly. The only thing he asked me to do is to please put his glass of wine a little bit closer, of course, because he was not gonna be able to reach it. But that's it. Everything else, like, he put on where he doesn't use a jacket, right, because of the sleeves. But he uses a vest. He put on his vest. He took off his vest, like, put it in a chair. He's fully independent and self.
If you were to see him in like a water tank swimming, do you think it would look weird?
Like, he definitely would look weird. I mean, his legs are normal. Everything is normal. He's married. He's got 4 children.
Oh my gosh.
He's super smart. He's amazing. He's like 175, which is like what, 5'11"?
What's that syndrome called? Is it called pterodactylism or something?
That would fucking suck. Like, how
Pterodactyl.
like
Yeah, Pepe. He has 4 children. Okay, how is this guy with no arms more successful, than losers on a social audio chit chat app who talk about FBI crime statistics all day long?
That's what I was telling the Bitcoin guy, that meeting this guy and spending time with him and actually learning about his life made me feel disabled. Because having all of my limbs, and a brain and whatever I have not done everything this guy has done.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
You see, Isa, myself, and John, we could all die in a bus accident, and everybody's lives would go on the same. Nobody would miss us. No children would starve because we don't have children. The love of our life that doesn't exist wouldn't be there at our funeral.
I was trying to refute what Pepe just said, and then the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? I got a lot more work to do.
Yeah, we do.
Actually, that might be a good thing. It's like, if you die, nobody will miss you, and that means you cause the least amount of pain on this planet. Amazing.
But see, that's why you're stupid, Pepe, and you don't read books. I was reading Tanya yesterday, and it talks about selflessness and kindness and mercy and being charitable. There's a lot of good things in life that you can do. You have a very sociopathic and homicidal ideation type of personality. You talk about murdering hitchhikers and dissolving their bodies in acid baths. Why do you come on here and say so much negativity?
Well, I don't, maybe that this one time you bought somebody who was hungry a meal and made their day, and you did some nice things for them, but then, you end up dying, and that person feels sad for many more days, and that has more of a negative impact than you had a positive impact on his life. So maybe I actually, my outlook on life is the best.
I don't know. But I was just realizing that the title of the room, and then we can go back to the conversation. The title of the room is a very big slogan, John. John for all and all for Kitover. One for all and all for Kitover.
Come on over for Kitover.
Yeah, you're gonna work for all, and all are gonna vote for you.
Well, what do you think the saying "the now is all important" means?
But anyway, Pepe.
Hold on 1 second. I asked a question. I asked, what do you think? Try to use your listening and your brain skills here. If you want to work for the campaign, you got to listen. What do you think the now is all important means?
Now it's all important.
Yeah, what does that mean?
That is the only thing that we have. Nothing else matters. The past doesn't exist, the future doesn't exist, the now is all we have. That's all that
So
exists.
you're saying that.
I think it all exists. Everything exists.
Everything exists in the now.
So you're saying that the compression is all that we have.
Yeah, it's the future and past compressed into now. Right?
Is it the event horizon?
Danny's so funny.
What does it mean, John?
No, I think Danny, in a way, the comedy aspect, I think it's, the silver lining. So all I'm saying is, the now is all important. And it's 1:28 here in the afternoon. Everyone here, has things to do. But here you are, communicating. But, there's an expiration happening in the background in a way. Maybe that's conceptual, but I say one for all for Kitover, and come on over for Kitover. Go to johnforcongress.com. Hey, El Normo. El Normo. El Normo.
If I were in Chicago, I would vote for you. Now, just one little question before you go to Norm. If I help you in the campaign, would that imply Swiss interference in the election?
No, you're a volunteer for the campaign. Anyone in the world can volunteer for John. Oh, Normo, you know, I was really trying to push the buttons on Shapeshifter yesterday. I apologize if I was being crude and coarse, but I wanted to see how far I could push that guy.
I understand. I just think that your more recent persona is more erudite and reasonable, and I want to encourage you to stay in the reasonable. And when you say we, you mean you and your other personalities, like Sybil?
I have always loved John. I learned to love him. I learned to love him in first 3 months.
90-day love affair?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, at the beginning, well, we used to have this photo of, like, a woman with, like, how do you say, a wig, and she had, like, something in her face. I think it was, like, a purple dress. I don't know if you remember, John. And he used to come to our rooms with some and just, like, yeah, start yelling and whatever, and we hated him. But then when I realized, like,
He used to yell Rabinum Shalom, but he doesn't do that anymore.
I don't know if that's what he yelled back in the day. But then when I figured he was just a troll, but then sometimes he participated and whatever, I thought he was interesting. And then yeah, then outside of those rooms, I started seeing him all the time. Yeah, I appreciated him.
You have wonderful taste in men, I will say that.
I do. I do. Anyway.
I don't know.
Back to Pepe.
I gotta say, like, you know, I went out last night and there's so many beautiful college girls in town, and you know, at 42, having like tasted and witnessed just about everything under the sun, to me the two most beautiful things in life are women and wisdom, and you got to seek them both out, and to me they're the best things in reality.
You have a good life because it's just like you end up growing your young mindset. You're 15 miles down the road.
Pepe, I'm sure that sounded better in your head than it sounded in the room.
Yeah.
No, this is you weren't here when what Edmund had to say to me earlier.
Here's the picture, John.
Oh, that's a very good. Oh my God, what is this fucking doing? You're gonna get kicked out if you do that again. Okay. Everybody say goodbye to Jacob.
Yeah, I missed that, Ethan.
And everybody say goodbye to Norm. That.
So,
Now look at Danny's photo.
oh, El Normo, I don't know if you heard, but Roger Mayhem are doing a show tomorrow in the Muff from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And we are going to do like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 thing where we listen to Chillism, we listen to Patty's Politically Correct, and then we do a break and a pause and do live feedback and analysis on what they're talking about.
Honestly, that's gonna be a waste. Yeah, that's gonna be a waste of time because you are going to have people just listening into the. I mean, you're gonna waste your time listening to another room that you're not in, and then you're just going to discuss the content. It would be better if you're just recording it, you know, for the snippets or whatever. All of you go into that room, you participate, make them, you trigger them actually to say things that you want them to say.
We'll see
And you trigger them and you participate, and then you go and have a post room.
Well, it's a roast show. It's a live roast show. But also, don't forget, because we have the room open and we're going to title it in a certain way, and we're going to go into those rooms and say, hey, somebody's live streaming this into Roger Mayhem's room. Like, we're going to cause chaos while we do the show.
I know, but that's what I mean. Leave the room open and have your room just like you have your stuff with one account. Leave it there in the month if you want, but then you guys go to the room to actually provoke
See, that's the point. It's not going to be idiotic, and it's not passive. It's critical, analysis and critique of basically people wasting their time talking about nothing. In the same way, that we're doing that right now. Is there an anonymous in the room? Yep, there's two. So those anonymous accounts, if they're live streaming the room and creating content, um, you know, they're basically filming a show about nothing. And El Normo, I know you're a filmmaker, and so like I consider myself a filmmaker as well, having produced 40,000 YouTube videos over the past couple of years, but really having no success in terms of viewership. So I'm just trying to like.
That's like running a hot dog factory and saying I'm a chef.
Well, never knock a good Jewish hot dog stand, because the secret is in having a line and doing just a couple hot dogs at a time, and then the line builds up, and then everybody driving by sees the line and they say, "Oh, there's something good there." So the whole thing is public relations and marketing and advertising and spamming in a way. I mean, El Normo, do you think like the greater the product, the greater the opportunity to spam it is, but you have to find essentially a way to create a mind virus, which is free clicks. So that's what I'm trying to do and I'm trying to mix it with my political campaigns. So that's my theory of activity, or as the Mises Institute says, the theory of human action.
Wait, somebody I know was telling me about the Mises Institute. Is that Mises? I feel like I know about this.
It's Mises. He's like an intellectual who came over from Europe, and it's basically about how a government destroys economic growth and opportunity and eats out the substance of their people.
I had a friend who was a New Yorker writer named Stanley Mises. I wonder if there's a link there.
Wow, I have smashed Gaza. People, it is. How do you view this news cycle with regards to the war? I mean, I heard somebody say you can't just go save the hostages because they'll kill them, in the attempt. So, what's like the optimal game theory if this was a chess game? How do you eventually get a checkmate here?
There's a great Nobel Prize winning game theorist. Unfortunately, I don't remember his name, but somebody on the back knew his name right away. You can find the YouTube. He's old now. Number one, if you offer them more than one, like criminal prisoner that you have in jail, if you offer more than one for a hostage, you're an idiot. You're a fool, according to game theorists. But you don't trade 1,000 for one. That's number one. Also, I don't think the negotiation does anything except encourage them to do this again, unfortunately. So, I think the only option is to smash the hell out of them. That's all I can think. And just make it so that they understand that anybody who does something like this will never again be able to allow themselves to be seen on top of on the surface of the earth. And by the way, Qatar should be pressuring those Hamas weirdos in Doha as well. Because everybody wants this thing over. And Qatar should say, okay, if you don't make a deal right now, we're going to we're going to stop your room service, which, by the way, they did something like this. They took away their personal weapons in front of me. So first we're going to stop your room service, and then we're going to kick you out of these five-star hotels, and we're going to let the Mossad do whatever they want to you. You know what that's going to do. And I think that would end this. It's time already, What do you think?
Yeah, isn't it ridiculous that the war could come to an end because people get kicked out of their, luxury suites in Doha?
Five-star hotel.
Isn't that absurd? I mean, I saw that the daughter of Yasser Arafat is worth like $5 billion.
Suha Arafat. How many did you say?
5 billion, I think I read 4 billion,
Yeah,
3 billion.
I think it's 1.5 billion. But you know, a billion here, a billion there. Sooner or later, that adds up to some real money.
So I mean, is she going to be magnanimous and give that money back to her people and build 60,000 housing units? Like, what is that? Like, why can't the International Criminal Court seize her assets, and redistribute that back to her people? Because clearly, she didn't earn that money, and so if maybe it's legal because she got it in the estate, but why the hell was he worth that much money? So I don't know why they can't seize that money.
From his people.
Well, if it's in France, I guess the money's in France, right? I mean, I guess it deals with the government in France whether or not they can seize those assets.
France is a cool place, and I just think that they're being blown by by their immigrants. The winds of immigration are affecting their decisions. I don't take this seriously. If you look at the headlines from 40 years ago, they're almost identical. You know, the world says to stop arms trade with Israel, and I don't know what else. Israel should get out of Gaza. It was literally the same thing. Or Israel should, honor the 1967 World War. It's almost ludicrous nonsense, but it reflects the fact that the world doesn't want this to go away. It's upsetting to have to look. People don't want to open their morning newspaper or their, even digitally on their iPad and see pictures of kids hurting. Nobody wants that. I understand that.
I am not for abortion in this country. I think we should be giving women checks of $10,000 or more to have children. I don't think we should be paying, $1 billion monthly for abortions in this country and killing, 80,000 children a month. When I see, dead babies or malnutrition people dying, I know that that's nature itself. But what is happening in America to me is unnatural and it's not natural. And it's very sick, I think, what we're doing in this country in our medical industrial complex and with all these abortion doctors. And so, to me, justice for October 7th and, attacking the Supernova Festival and taking all these hostages is, an opposite and equal response. You attack the Supernova Festival, you cause a supernova in your city, and there goes your your civilization over there and that beautiful piece of real estate. So I think everything can be rationalized, and America is a perfect example of a place where you can rationalize anything.
What do you think?
I'm saying that America has absolutely no moral ground to stand on whatsoever with regards to just about anything, because we are the purveyor of the world's largest military industrial complex. At $1 trillion a year, we fund our war machine, and we fund through Medicare, Medicaid, and over $2 trillion a year. We're paying for all these abortions. Taxpayers are being taxed to murder 80,000 children a month in Planned Parenthood facilities throughout the country. So I'm just saying that, I want to just describe the situation accurately and say that, if there's any hypocrites around, just realize that, like, as an American, you really have no moral or ethical bedrock or cornerstone at all. We are such a liberal, Democrat, toxic society of hypocrites and death dealers, and shameless politicians who do not demonstrate humility or maybe fake kindness, but it's so all inauthentic because it's all based on murder, in my opinion.
I've never heard you say that. I don't think that there's any more reasonable conversation about abortion. It doesn't acknowledge a woman's right to make that decision if she needs
Well, I asked Grok, you know, whether or not you think abortion is murder. And according to Grok AI, you know, powered by this giant intellectual supercomputer, has concluded that abortion in America is murder. And if the AI that we supposedly want to keep talking about all the time because it's all important believes that abortion is murder, but that's just one platform. So, anyways, I'm just opposed to abortion, but it's not, to me it's political. Everything is political. The debt is political, abortion is political, vaccines are political, LGBTQ is political, BLM is political, this app is political, your Instagram is political in a way. I mean, everything, not yours per se, but I'm just saying that like all communication is political, it's spam, it's projection, um, or it's, you know, propaganda. I mean, I'm just saying people are now in a communication place in 2025 where they've never been before. And it's so polarizing and addicting, or stupid, but it's basically all spam. And so, you know, part of personal responsibility is choosing what kind of spam you're going to have for lunch and dinner and breakfast. Also, I guess with regards to the abortion thing, uh, there's nothing new under the sun. Mankind has been doing infanticide since the very beginning, you know. So there's just nothing new under the sun. And I'm only really talking about it because I'm trying to be political.
You know, the Torah says that the soul enters the body with the baby's first breath. But before it's born, the soul is not in the body.
Yeah, well, in Hebrew, the word is ruach, which is breath, you know, or life force. You could say it's spirit. And, you know, if you want to be a literalist about first breath, but you still want to exude, you know, rip that baby's body apart, just if that makes you feel better legally, morally, ethically, spiritually, okay, cool. But I think most common sense people in 2025 know that, you know, ripping the child's head off in the uterus before it can get that first breath is not a valid excuse to terminate that baby, that organism's life. I mean, it's mystical what you're saying, but if you want to be,
You'd rather it die afterwards of starvation?
no, what I'm saying is,
Did you say that earlier? Did I catch that?
no, I didn't say that. What I'm saying
I
is,
thought I caught that. Could we get the recording? I forgot. It sounded like you said that.
oh, you can go to my YouTube or Instagram if you want to watch the replay. What I'm saying is the mystical approach. See, the material world is more mystical than this subjective, esoteric philosophy world of books in a way. That baby is mystical. The breath is, you know, the inhalation, but I'm just saying that baby itself is more mystical, more magical, more beautiful than, you know, that breath. Does that make any sense, Al?
The thing is, the consequences are, in a world like this, if we were living in a local utopia, we would all be with our first loves, and there would be no thought of abortion. But in a world like this, where you do that, you have thousands, tens of hundreds of thousands of children being born into unprepared lives in capitalist 21st century digital economy, you know? It's like it's a kind of, it would have effects it's like people don't get pregnant to have abortions, you know? It's like, oh my god, this happens. Now, I'm not in biblical utopia, I'm in Cincinnati, you know? Yeah, well, people shouldn't be using abortion as birth control.
That's for sure.
People should be, you know, in loving relationships with, they shouldn't be having sex with people who they're not planning on having children with.
but there are, situations like you've had enough kids, or it's too early.
Well, I'm just saying that society today is so obsessed with the subject or the subjective as opposed to the object or the objective, meaning the material world has become profane to all these liberal Democrats. The material world is the true, real spiritual world. It's the real. And because people are so addicted to politics and propaganda and mind viruses and thought control, you end up having unnecessary death. And I think, the abortion table is open to criticism. 80,000 a month, never ending. Like, we could stop it. We could liberate these women and give them money if they want it. I'm just saying, give them an option. If the government is going to pay the doctors and the health insurance providers, give the women an option for direct payment and subsidy of the pregnancy. Give the money to the people, not to the doctors and the corporations, especially with regards to abortion, and especially because we have plummeting birth rates in this country.
Do you think that maybe it's a sacrifice?
You could say it, under the cloak of a white cape, anything is capable. I mean, modern day psychiatry and a lot of medicine is just veiled in terms of like medieval practices. It's just an updated version of the same old game that we do to each other commercially. It's very sick. Most people need a good environment, not more medication. They need more exercise and diet and, more security, better housing, cleaner everything, I'm just saying
It's
that.
called Maslow. It's a pyramid,
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call it child sacrifice, like in some kind of, satanic way, but I would just say that if you've ever met with abortion doctors or seen congressional testimony with a very aggressive female liberal Democrat abortionist, to me, she's repulsive. And she's a mass murderer.
How do you feel about Kermit Goswell?
I don't know. But, people get exhausted talking about abortion, so we don't have to talk about it anymore. But, if Hamas understood philosophy and they were able to secure a deal and take a knee, they should do it, because that act of humility is what saves their people. I just hope there's like enough intelligence in their network or some magnanimous leader who can convince their people to disarm and have a new future and have it guaranteed in writing and publicized prior to the actual, so everybody knows they're not getting cheated. Because there are going to be a lot of complainers on this app who are saying, oh no, they never should have done this. They just destroyed their chance of having a homeland, of having their own country. Everybody is such a pessimist on this app. All they do is come on here and just say the nastiest, snarkiest, most gaslighting. Everybody's making an attempt to gaslight as much as possible all the time on this app. It's very sick and obnoxious and disgusting. Not you, I'm saying like, even people like Pepe. To me, Pepe is like a repulsive person. The thing.
He's bland. It's like professional wrestling. He's playing a character. So that might not make it better, by the way.
He just,
He's shining a light to the hypocrisy of a lot of things. And yeah, he's in character.
Everybody's in character, I guess, but I'm just saying, if you want the world to be a better place, start with yourself. That's the whole point.
Yeah, that's great, but Pepe is doing dissecting, social things, so, it's not about, start with yourself. He started with himself, and I'm sure he's still on himself, and this is him being on himself, he's learning. He's very educated, and he's pretty just, just because he blows off steam. I think that's part of the game of Clubhouse.
civilization, especially after the Roman Empire adopted Christianity, which is a spin-off of Judaism. I mean, it's so stupid. It's so stupid.
It's insane.
You know what I think is weird about the whole thing? I don't know if you guys have considered this before. But if they're getting genocided, if they're starving to death, why wouldn't they just release the